Why go all the way outside India to source furniture when India has such incredible craftsmanship? That was a top comment in our last video. Well, let's talk about it. Because the truth is, for most of our high-end luxury projects, we customize here in India. We don't import and we don't buy off the shelf. There is no magical store where you'll get all the furniture as per your aesthetics as well as the sizing of your bungalow. First, let's clear up what bespoke actually means. This is not just about picking a sofa and just picking the color. True bespoke means that a piece is customized specifically for you as per your requirements. So when should you choose bespoke over buying from a high-end retail store? Scale. Imagine you have a 10,000 square feet home. You have a very big double height and it requires a 15-foot long sofa that is in the center of this double height. You can't just walk into a store and find that exact sofa sitting there. It doesn't match your Pinterest board. So you will need to customize that product, because if you buy two sofas and join them together, that's just going to look awkward and cheap. This reason might just be the most important reason, and us as designers have to go through this a lot. Family dynamics. Parampara. You have to understand, as Indians, we live in a large house with maybe 2-3 generations of families living together. Everyone has their own tastes, their own likes, dislikes, and their own way of living. And who are we as designers to tell them how to live? So each one has to customize as per their needs. And bespoke is the only way you can do that. This reason has to be a designer's favorite reason: coordination. Imagine designing for a 20,000 or 30,000 square feet house. There are 200 to 250 different SKUs of products which you have to coordinate between 10, 15 different stores. It's impossible. There will be so many mistakes. In bespoke, you deal with one person who takes care of everything. They obviously have a back-end team behind them, of the factory, of the designers, of the people who even provide the costing for everything. But you deal with that one company and they're responsible for everything. Something goes wrong, you call that one company. Something is right, call them and say it was nice. Let me break it down for you. How does a top tier brand deliver you all this furniture, and what are the steps they follow to make sure this furniture reaches your home in exactly the way you had pictured it? The first step is actually my responsibility, not the brand's. I have to give you a full mood board of all the furniture items, the reference images that you have liked, in the fabric finishes that I think will go well with the space, so that the brand can easily quote for the same, so that we can move on to step number 2. Once the brand receives this presentation, they will start calculating, they will have doubts, they will coordinate with the designer, and then they will send their quotes to the client. The client and the designer then meet and finalize who they should go for, and then they finalize the order. If you think the brand is just sitting in the factory and now have started making the furniture after they've received the order, you're sadly mistaken. They send their technical team to take on-site measurements because they can't trust any site engineers or my drawings measurements. They have to take it for themselves because they are responsible for making that furniture. Even something like door clearances, they have to check. So if you want your 15-foot sofa to fit through an 8-foot door, they have to raise that flag. So now, what does the factory do with all this data? It's got the site measurements, it's got the presentation from the designer. Now the brand has to make its own shop drawings. Those shop drawings go to the designer for their approval. Those shop drawings contain almost like joint lines, stitch lines, type of fabric, the thickness of the foam, the seat height of the sofas, and a bunch of other dimensions which are actually very important. Trust me, for the designer, this is the most important step, because if he misses out on even one or two things, it results in major losses for the client. The brand comes to my office with all the samples, polish samples, powder coating samples, fabric finishes, even tiny details which I told them to add in their drawings. I have to give my final approval and sign off after coordinating with the client, and then it gets released to the factory for final production. This step is what differentiates customization from buying off the shelf. Even though the factory has started producing the furniture, they don't finish the furniture outright and send it to your home. They make a rough framework so that you as a client and us as a designer can visit and actually give them a full approval that the drawings in which we had given all those comments are actually correct or not. I've had projects where clients have come and almost shaved off 2 inches from a chair height or 3 inches from a back tilt, just on the basis of how it feels when they sit down on the rough frame. So finally, we reach the last step, the furniture is ready to be shipped from the factory. After shipping the furniture, once it gets delivered to site, the brand actually sends a team of technicians who take this furniture, place it around your house depending on where it's supposed to be placed in the layout. And remember, a lot of this furniture is quite large. It's shipped in pieces. All of it has to be joined and assembled without damaging the furniture. They are responsible for getting a handover certificate from you. India versus importing. What actually makes sense in terms of price, timeline, and quality? So, price. This really depends on the price bracket, the budget of the client as well. If we compare bespoke to importing from China, if you look at my last video, I always said that China is more bang for your buck, and it still holds true. But if you're comparing it to importing from Italy, you'll be saving a lot of money in customizing from a very high-end brand in India. Customized furniture actually has a timeline of 60 to 90 days of production timeline. But you have to remember, please give 1 month to the designer and the brand to coordinate the shop drawings, the sample approvals, because it does take time. In total, I would say 120 days is a safe bet. When you compare it to importing, if you import from China, you can get it in 90 days as well. And from Italy, it might just be 120 days. So the timeline is actually comparable. So now let's talk about quality. Bespoke Indian brands actually make furniture which is export worthy. They rival the best European brands, and their factories are well equipped to take care of all changing technologies and have the latest German machinery. You don't have to worry about quality with bespoke brands. India. So, bespoke Indian furniture brands are neither cheaper nor are they faster, and their quality is actually comparable to European brands. So, why choose them? Simple. Service, service, service. A brand gets more business from the client once they are happy. So the brand actually is coordinating with the client for even months on end after the furniture is delivered to repair all the snags, fix all the stitches, to even removing some polish that the client is not really happy with, because they need to develop this relationship, because that one client will talk to 10 others for more business for that brand. In simple terms, if you buy off the shelf, it's like going to a fast food joint. It comes quick, you might not like it as much, but it does the job. Importing from China is like visiting a buffet. A lot to choose from, but it's not made specially for you. Importing from Europe is like visiting a fancy restaurant. The chef has curated a bunch of dishes which are fantastic, but is it as per his taste or yours? Indian bespoke furniture is like calling that same chef home. He makes the same fantastic dishes, but as per your taste, as per what you like, as per what your whole family likes. That is the beauty of Indian bespoke furniture. If you missed our last video on what it's like to import furniture from China, please click on this link, and please like and subscribe if you want to hear more content from us about the world of architecture and interior design in India.